Welcome back, YouTube. My name is Vyxenova, cyberspace fox VTuber, and today we're going to be reacting to the sheer exquisite shenanigans of Red Alert 3 by Bricky. We've watched a lot of Bricky before, mostly his Warhammer videos. You can find them all on my channel. We reacted to his original Warhammer, and then we also reacted to like the newer ones he brought out recently. Well, I say recently, I think it was like start of this year. But today we're gonna be watching Red Alert 3. This got recommended to me by my community. I recognize some parts of it, but you know, I'm interested to see what Bricky has to say about it. So yeah, let's go.
I won't let you have the satisfaction of catching me.
Oh, Tim Curry.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Hi.
Tim Curry is going to space. In space, there is no capitalism. But particularly, if he's going to the moon, well, what else is not on the moon? Atmosphere. No atmosphere, no protection from the sun. Those rays are going to be blasting him like crazy. Radiation, new levels. And you know what that means? It means he needs our sponsor today, Blender's Eyewear. The sun,
so true, bestie.
Cringe, painful, my eyes squinty, ooh, radiation. Blender's Eyewear, great, excellent, build quality, feel excellent, the look, not cringe. Sun diffused. Because Blender's Eyewear is a fantastic and affordable option for you to wear in case the sun ever gets a little uppity. They feel good. I love their colors. These ones are purple because purple is one of my favorite colors. Bricky fact. Magenta is my favorite color, but purple is pretty up there. And right here,
I got purple.
Smooth. No matter where I'm at, the beach, the mall, outer space, or in my own home right here, these things have got me covered. The Blender's Eyewear feels great. I think they look great, and they come at an affordable cost with a variety of excellent styles, colors, and frames for you specifically. If you want to tell the sun it's cringe, you go to blenderseyewear.com and use code BrickyVIP for 15% off. Check the description now if you want to cop yourself some of their fantastic choices. And let's talk about Tim Curry. Hello everybody, my name is Bricky.
Yeah, so if you ever want to look at the sun and tell it that it's cringe, make sure you have proper eyewear. You know, courtesy of Bricky.
Doxing any and all allied players using cryocopters. So it seems my prior video on Kane's Wrath reached out into the void of YouTube and grabbed all of its players out of their geriatric homes to reminisce on the good times of that fantastic game. I had a whole lot of, I've never seen your content, Bricky, but Kane's Wrath was my shit, and god damn it, I'm glad we have that in common.
Bricky.
So
I've watched a lot of it.
Not business oriented, so why not talk about another Command and Conquer game, the last decent one and the last one before EA completely crushed its franchise, Command & Conquer Red Alert 3, that came out very quickly after Kane's Wrath. Red Alert 3, the final Red Alert game of the beloved Red Alert series of Command & Conquer, because there's a couple of variations of it, Generals and Tiberium Wars and Red Alert. And the third game came out in 2009, and it came out right after Kane's Wrath, which I won't lie, gave me a little bit of whiplash. Red Alert 3 might be the polar opposite of the Tiberium Wars games. While Tiberium Wars focused a bit more on macro, this game focused a lot more on micro. In Tiberium Wars, while it was still a little cheesy, it took its topic somewhat seriously. In Red Alert 3, it is all farce. It is all memes. While the characters and units sounded somewhat grounded in Tiberium Wars, in Red Alert, it's...
Kill them like watermelon!
It is a total fucking parody.
Huh? What? Kill them like watermelon, did he say? I'm just checking it. I'm just checking I read that right.
That doesn't make it bad. It makes it specific. It dedicates itself to a particular audience. Those who prefer the micro gameplay, those who prefer the art style and the voice acting and the cheese. Red Alert 3 is a game that I don't believe many people consider to be nearly as good as 1 and 2, because while I did not play Red Alert 1 and 2, I do hear a lot of, it's not quite the same, but it is still a classic source of fun over balance, fun over overall, well, function and health. And that's not always a bad thing. You can't point at Modern Warfare 2, one of the most popular games ever, my childhood, and tell me, yeah, Bricky, that game was balanced. One of the best FPS games ever made, Titanfall 2, is an unbalanced mess. At least when you get really good at it, but it is still goddamn fun. And Red Alert 3? It's some goddamn fun. It might actually be having too much fun. And we'll talk about that in the campaign.
Nixon was framed and Kennedy was a commie?
That's right.
Oh, yeah, disclaimer. Deals with Soviets, very evil, crazy Russians, Imperial Japan, all this kind of stuff. Russia, modern time, things going on right now in the world. It's not something I'm going to bring up. It's not something that actually matters in the context of this review. And this discussion of the game will be as if it's not happening. But I wanted to say it because we're all adults here, and I wanted to at least make it clear that you know, elephant in the room. Okay, anyway. So the Russians invent time travel. Soviet Union is on the brink of collapse, and Tim Curry and they decided to use their time machine to travel back to Brussels sprouts in 1927 and assassinate Albert Einstein. This changes the course of history.
Einstein now.
As nuclear warfare was never invented, and then Tim Curry becomes the new prime minister or supreme prime minister or whatever of the Soviet Union, and the Russians are about to control the entire Western world. They are on the brink of victory instead of collapse, thanks to their assassination of Albert Einstein. However, with no Albert Einstein means no nukes. And, well, no nukes means a certain other nation didn't have any setbacks. So a combination of technologically advanced, feudal, and imperial Japan, known as the Empire of the Rising Sun, is now a massive force. They are technologically superior, have crazy new stuff coming around, and they believe that world domination is their divine destiny. And they have begun a three-way world war between the Soviets, the Allies, and the Empire of the Rising Sun. The plot is just straight up shenanigans. The entire thing is a vehicle for some of the dumbest dialogue ever written and some of the most school level play acting you can get. It is riding that thin line of hilarious and cringy and constantly falls on both sides all the time. They decided to populate the entire main cast with either A-list celebrities or supermodels. All the in-game commandos are straight up supermodels in this game. They are the stereotype of each one. The Allies have a double pistol wielding blonde bombshell. The Soviets have the strong, tough sniper Dragunov Natasha commando. And the Japanese have a schoolgirl outfit, pigtails, angry, angsty young girl with psychic powers. And the cast, holy fuck, the cast. You've got Tim Curry doing this Russian accent thing. You've got J.K. Simmons as the president of the United States. Jonathan Pryce is a field marshal. George Takei is the fucking emperor. Ric Flair is the goddamn commander. And David Hasselhoff is the vice president. And the shit they say.
We have altered the space-time continuum.
Oh. And now that we have a common enemy,
Bullpucky.
I wasn't flirting, sir.
Oh god, this looks amazing.
I was just, you know, making conversation.
Our enemy was thrusting deeply into the motherland's tender nether regions.
Los Angeles is the hub of the Allied propaganda machine.
Freedom, liberty, the pursuit of happiness.
And he's just like, oh my god.
Pie. Did I say freedom? Well, it's worth saying again.
I will root out the enemy within.
You are made.
I'm trying not to laugh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Of stupid.
The sheer volume of A-list actors in this thing, in like the complete farce that it is. Like, you can tell none of them are taking it seriously. Tim Curry is consistently laughing at his voice lines. And those are the takes they kept. It's surreal. Like, J.K. Simmons is actually a Japanese robot spy that they infiltrated to become the president. And then George Takei just like rips out some wires and J.K. Simmons has a fucking meltdown. The ending of the Allied campaign has one of the briefing ladies, I forget her name, I think it's Jenna Atkinson, whoever, and the supermodel Commando both dressed up to take you out on a hot date tonight. That's the ending of the Allied campaign. Japanese campaign, same thing, but on a beach. And you know what's the best part about this? It translates over to gameplay. What? It's just as silly with its style and its units. So a bit ago, there was a Mario game. I forget which one, right? And Mario had a sombrero. And then a whole bunch of pasty ass fucking college students that looked like me made a whole bunch of journal articles about why it's super fucking racist, you know, because they had nothing better to do with their time. And then right after that, like all college. Of the fans from like Mexico and stuff of Mario were like, yo, that's fucking dope. Because he got a sombrero. And it made them all look like total clowns. I feel like this game is that same test, just edgier. All of the factions are insane stereotypes. Everything. The Allies, the Russians, and the Japanese. They are all incredibly stereotypical. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in certainly an offensive way, but in a funny way. Red Alert 3 likes its stereotypes. It likes them a lot, and it uses them everywhere. Like, I asked some Russian friends of mine about like what they thought about Red Alert 3 when it came out, that super evil Russian stereotype, and apparently it was generally well received. They call it Klukva? I'm pronouncing this very poorly, but just that super over-the-top evil Russian stereotype. And apparently it's kind of funny because Red Alert is absolutely that. The Soviets, which are my personal favorite of the three factions, have war bears. They have conscripts with AKs and Molotovs. They have gulag flak troopers. They have the hammer tank and the sickle walker. Their engineer is just, yeah.
I think that was my good lung.
The submarine, something's gonna sink at basically any moment.
What's that tripping sound? Are these scanners working?
And oh, we can't forget about the Kirov airship.
Drop another load. Oh yeah. Ah, that's nice.
The volume of like Soviet pride is so funny, but their patriotism is actually kind of cool. The sheer patriotism in some of their units is really fun to listen to, particularly the Soviet dreadnought, who just has some of the best voice lines.
Can you feel the Soviet might? Enemies of the Union shall burn.
And then you got the Apocalypse tank, who is the whole thing.
The apocalypse has begun. We will bury them.
There's a firework.
Moving
Oh my
over,
god,
though,
that scared the shit out of me. He's smacking it with a wrench. I think it's like every kind of like game though, when you have to fix something, it's just like clink, tang, tang, tong, it's fixed. Oh.
The Empire of the Rising Sun is a combination of feudal Japan, imperial Japan, and anime stereotypes. You've got units that go the anti-infantry route, where you have jets that kind of skim around, but then can turn into jets and fly around, or bipedal helicopters that fire missiles, enormous Oni mechs, and also tsunami tanks that literally scream the word cavalry. You've got like Naginata cruisers and Shogun battleships. The average Imperial warrior has a gun, but also a laser katana that he can charge you with. And for the anime part, you know, besides the Oni mechs and mecha, you also have like rocket angels and the commando. Also, you have the engineer, which, I mean, look at that walk cycle. Look at that run cycle. I actually like their style quite a lot. High-tech Japanese is a pretty common thing to do because it's such a high-tech country. But also at the same time, I like the combination of throwing it with Imperial Japan and having that Imperial Japanese nature to them. The zealotism they have in their divine right for world domination is very cool, but they also have this sort of professionalism. Certain units, particularly the Shogun battleship and the Wave Force artillery, one of my favorites, have this just very like calm, strong demeanor about them.
The day of the Shogun has arrived. They will soon bow to our flag. We will take them by force. The Shogunate will be pleased.
And then you contrast that with things like the Mecha Tengu and the Commando and rocket angels, and it becomes really fun. It's a nice hybrid. Fuck, man. The commando's special ability literally creates the Imperial flag. Like, what else could you ask for? As far as the allies go, they themselves look a bit more generic. However, they are basically every single Western stereotype, and not just America, but also like British area combined. The sheer volume of nationalities is actually what's pretty cool about it. You've got your pretty standard like white peacekeeper cop kind of guy with the peacekeeper, the right.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm like trying to like listen and tell this, and I'm just like, yeah, kind of. It is very corny. It's very corny, but it does look quite cool actually.
Shield and the shotgun. Your javelin troopers are all basically football players, literally saying lines like football players.
Sack 'em, blitz 'em. Here comes the Hail Mary.
The engineer is a complete fucking dweeb.
Excelsior, piece of pie.
And his jet ski is
Oh no.
as well as the funniest thing ever. They've got a James Bond style spy that can bribe people to turn traitor. Guardian tanks and multi-gunners are by far the most evil of them all. Like British.
Oh my god.
Hey,
oh
mate,
god.
someone's a little cheesed off. Eat a tick.
Mirage tanks are incredibly French.
Aha! C'était fatal.
Hydrofoils are
French.
Jamaican.
Take their guns away. Scramble them eggs.
The big satellite laser truck is just a call center lady.
Anything else I can do for you? 1 moment, sir.
Sentry bombers have that deep southern accent.
No more belly aching from them. Oh!
And aircraft carriers are there to blow your ears out.
Aircraft carrier leaving port. Tall and proud.
In fact, there's actually a comment on my Kane's Wrath video that I think describes this a lot better than I can. I can't stress enough how important voice acting is in an RTS. You're going to be hearing the same voice clips hundreds of thousands of times, and the best ones are iconic and never leave your head. That's a great way to put it. When you're building stuff and clicking things and ordering people around, you're going to be hearing those voice lines again and again and again and again and again, and they need to be good or else they're going to be so tiring. Keeping those sound effects up, keeping that voice acting solid is paramount. And
oh my god, they got dolphins. They got like war dolphins. What the hell? You fucking Bricky, you missed out this part. You missed out the fucking war dolphins.
And it's something that, despite the silliness, they do incredibly well in this game. This actually might be the reason why I enjoy Red Alert 3 so much, despite it being entirely inferior to Kane's Wrath. See, Red Alert's gameplay is actually the part I have the biggest problem with. There's a lot of things they did to the game that I either don't like on a personal level or simply feel like it's just not well balanced. For example, like harvesting your resources is massively cut down compared to Command & Conquer Kane's Wrath, where you have multiple refineries and multiple harvesters. You literally just place a refinery there and then just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, which makes it really, really easy, but also more punishing. If you get rushed in Kane's Wrath, you have your base defenses, you have all your things you can make, and you can try to defend your harvesters. And they might kill 1 or 2 harvesters, but it doesn't kill your economy. In Red Alert, that's like your only harvester per field, and you only start with 2 right next to you. So a common strat, the Vindicator bombers on the allies, fucking pricks, will just go over there and kill them. And now you're not getting any money until you build a new one. And I don't know how much you've been spending. That could really be a detriment. You've only got 2 harvesters. What if they kill both? How much shit do you have to sell in order to get more? Like, there's no skill in actually harvesting, and there's very little skill needed to get rid of the harvesters. Soviet terror drones are a nightmare when it comes to that crap. Also, the game forgoes any and all upgrades. There are no upgrades to buy, no rail guns or blue purifying flame, nothing like that. And all of your special like side abilities come from a tech tree that you need to pick around on the bottom left corner of the screen. And some of those are just flat out better than others. So some of these tech tree ability things are kind of cool. You got like the chrono ship from the Allies, or the toxic bomb from the Soviets, or the actual zero plane kamikaze for the Imperial Japan. But you know, they're interesting, but they're not quite the same, and they don't offer as much utility and intrigue as they do in Kane's Wrath. But the game also has become more micro heavy. Every single unit they decide to give a special ability, and some of these abilities range from we had to pick something to absolutely ridiculous. Like harvesters, for example. The Allies one allows them to go ahead and move their base. It's an outpost ability, whereas the Soviet one gives it a big shell to make it tanky here, and the Empire one turns around, stops harvesting, has a little gun on the top. The Imperial warriors put their guns away and charge you with their laser katana. The conscripts take their AKs down, throw Molotovs. Hydrofoils swap from their anti-air gun to a gun that stops the enemy units from firing at all, like a jammer, which is really aggravating. The Apocalypse tank grabs someone, pulls them in, and shreds them down. Everything has an ability. The thing is that makes it a hell of a lot more micro heavy, which I'm less of a fan of. I do feel like in Red Alert, once your opponent gets rid of your major fighting force, you're kind of done. There's a lot of comebacks in Kane's Wrath, and I think it has to do with the speed of the game and the map size. Red Alert maps feel really small, but things are still decently quick. In Kane's Wrath, the maps are way bigger, and things aren't decently quick, so still lots of time to recover. I have many a times just been rushed by twin blades, and that was my death. That was it. It was over. I have been rushed by dolphins that can't allow me to go anywhere in the sea. The Japanese mecha-tangus just destroy everything I know and love. The like Vindicators on the Allies. There are many times where I feel like my games are ending incredibly quick. Terror drone spam from the Soviets. The games just don't feel like they can turn around as quickly. So at the end of the day, you've got a streamlined system where there are no upgrades. Your powers are all in a tier system, and everything is more micro heavy instead of macro. That could be how Red Alert's always been, and if that's the case, then I mean, totally fine, but that's not for me. I like Kane's Wrath a lot for all the opposite reasons of what I just said. Red Alert for me is completely held up by its great voice acting and also very good visuals. Look at the water effects in this game. It came out in 2009. The lighting.
Damn, 2009, that's crazy. I'm gonna say, like, the graphics for this game are really good for like a game that came out in like 2008. Was it 2008? He says 2009, but I think he said earlier it comes out in 2008. I'm not sure like the playstyle. I've never played the game like this. But I do have to agree. I think it holds up really well for a game that came out almost 20 years ago. Takes some getting used to, but it's so fun. That's so true. Yeah. RTS in general hold up really well in my experience. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Effects, especially the amount of color is something it does really well. And also, oh my god, the sound. I didn't even mention the soundtrack. Get the montage.
Yo, this is sick. Oh, damn.
I remember asking my chat which faction is the strongest in Red Alert comparatively to everything else, and they all unanimously said the Allies. And it kind of made me confused for a while why the Allies. Like, I know Peacekeepers are strong, I know that the Vindicator spam is pretty good, but like, why specifically the Allies? And they all said cryocopters. And I watched some pro games, and yeah, cryocopters are dumb. They run up to something, freeze it, and then said thing can basically be one-shot by anything in the game, no matter what, and it can't fight back. Does not matter the size. It also has a shrink ray, which makes said thing incredibly tiny, do almost no damage, and be like triple as weak. It is
fucking shrink ray. I'll take your tank and I make it tiny. Can you imagine that actually happening in battle? Like the enemy has like a shrink ray. That's a shrink ray. Your tank just goes like, You're like, oh, damn it. Yeah, those cryocopters are like wild. They're so wild. Oh my god.
Infuriating what I have watched with allied cryocopters. The allies look so overpowered. Their aircraft carriers are also insane. Assault destroyers, when used properly, can be kind of nuts. Oh, just Peacekeeper spam, weirdly enough, seems really good. Their Apollo fighters just fuck. And it's not to say that everything else doesn't have some good stuff. Mecha-tangus are pretty good. Those actually Wave Force artillery can be pretty nuts too. And the Empire has the best naval combat by far. Soviets terror drones are really scary. Twin blades are good. Kirovs are still good. But even so, like the Allies, they seem a bit overtuned. And there could be mods and stuff to make this a little bit better. I haven't actually seen any personally, but I don't know if I would be able to, because you can't really play multiplayer in this game. Yeah, it's like broken. or down or something. You need to download mods or something to even play multiplayer, because EA, what's that? We put out a product and it's not working. Well, bye. It's too bad too, because I know there's a lot of people who don't like this game. They're just not a fan of this red alert, but I do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's good for a couple of rounds of enjoying myself and being kind of silly and different and interesting. It's nowhere near as good as Kane's Wrath to me, but I also don't like some of the changes it made. So, you know, it could be a personal preference. Overall though, despite everything there, it does still feel like that era before the loot boxes, before the just make our money back era, where despite it being EA and despite all their dumbassery, it is a game that was made with care. It's dumb, it's cheesy, it's stupid, but it's meant to be, and it's fun for that. It is fun overbalanced to a T. And honestly, I'm really sad it's the last real Command & Conquer game. It is the one that put it in, well, it's not the one that put it in its grave, but it is the one right before it went to a grave. It was its final hurrah, and it's not the best, but it's better than what they've been making. So, yeah. That's true. Red Alert 3, Tim Curry looking at ass, Vine boom sound effect. Thank you all for watching this video. It was a pleasure having you all here. If you want to check out some merch, I have some new ones. I have a new shirt that I entirely based around Outer Wilds, one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's really solid and distinct enough, and I just love it. You can check that out. And also, I have an Elden Ring one, and it says Got Grace. It's in hoodies, black and white, as well as shirts, black and white. You can both check those out in the description, orchid8.com. And I have some questions. All right, I got 2 questions. Have I heard of the subreddit Armored Women? No, but I'm fucking gonna. What makes you huff the most copium? Honestly, the Kane's Wrath stuff. Kane's Wrath and the Death of Command & Conquer, that's some big fucking copium. That is cope to the max. What is an intellectual turnoff for you when listening to someone explain something? E.g., when someone portrays an opposing view with the most mocking voice they can come up with, it always turns off whatever else they have to say. Oh, yeah. Often when I talk about something and there's an argument against it where I say, oh, Red Alert 3 is very micro heavy, and then I'll say something like, you know, micro heavy is certainly a thing for most people. A lot of people find that to be more skillful, but I personally think that the macro takes a little bit more effort. Someone else would rephrase that as, oh, but what about the macro level? You know, this micro, I want to micro this stuff. It's like, shut up. That particularly bugs the hell out of me when they do that kind of voice. I do it sometimes, but normally it's against an argument that's just really dumb. But when people do that shitload, I can get that. And they constantly use a mocking tone to anyone that is against them, absolutely. That's something that bugs the hell out of me. I also hate for my need to say in my opinion or to me a lot when I make videos. Super often whenever I am trying to express something, I have to say, in my opinion, I don't really like it, or it didn't really do it for me. Because if I say, I don't think it's good, or I think this is a bad decision, that makes it more definitive, and people will get more angry because I am hard disagreeing, as opposed to saying, I don't like it. That's like that weird fine line of reviewing something, saying I don't like it and it's bad is, it's hard to differentiate the two of them because everything is subjective, so you never know. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. March was a really busy month, with that. But I had a good time with it all. Hopefully, I will see you for some new videos soon. The second channel also has an Elden Ring playthrough going up, and thanks for supporting me. Bye.
Come on. Obviously, you're a skater.
All right. That was really good. That was really good. I'd never heard of Red Alert until I'd only seen anything about it was like the Tim Curry clip where he talked about like the one place that's not corrupted by capitalism, and it's like SPAAACE. That was the only thing I'd seen of it, so it was interesting to see the actual like game behind it. It was so crazy. The graphics, I have to say, like the graphics for that game held up really well for a game that came out in like 2008, which I was really surprised at. The Tim Curry was some Spy Kids caliber movie. Yeah, no, honestly, I was the same. I thought it was from some kind of like crazy movie, because like Tim Curry's been in a lot of things. So I was really interesting to see that it was actually based off a game, and it's always good watching a Bricky video. Bricky always makes me laugh, and it looked really interesting. I do have to say though, I do have to say, the soundtrack for that game is so good. Oh my god. Like, I was listening to that and I'm like, oh man, I gotta listen to this. That's so crazy good. Yeah, no, I was the same. The graphics shocked me for an 08 game. It did. It held up so good. It held up so good for a 2008 game. Like, there's a lot of games that come out nowadays where the graphics don't even hold a candle to that. And like the gameplay looks really interesting. It probably would take me a little while to kind of understand it. I think because like it's like the third in like a trilogy of games. I'm guessing. So it feels like one of those ones that would take like a little bit to it'd take like a little bit to get into and kind of understand and whatnot. But yeah, no, it was really interesting. It was always good to watch Bricky. Bricky always makes me laugh. He has a certain way of like explaining things that they kind of like itch my brain good. But yeah, I think that's gonna be all for me today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking and commenting, and if you'd like to see more in the future, please consider subscribing. Thank you for hanging out with me, YouTube. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.